Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. You should check out my website, welshaudio.com. Everything ships for free. The prices that you see is the prices that you'll pay at checkout. Enjoy the video.
All right, guys, welcome back for another one. Every week when I go to Walmart, I always go back to the car audio section looking for new amps. And this will be like a year straight, or I don't know, long periods of time. And everything's the same. And I turn around and go back to shopping. But last Sunday, me and Skylar were at Walmart. We went back there expecting it to be the same old. And I saw 3 new amplifiers at my local Walmart. Hopefully y'all's is the same. But they had a brand new 2-channel Pioneer, a new 4-channel power acoustic, that Razor. They, what is that Razor 2500 that they always have? Now they have one that looks like that. It's the Razor series 4-channel. And they had a Jensen 5-channel. So I picked up 2 of those 3 amps. And so the amp of the week is the Pioneer. We are talking about the GM-E190X2. So a little 2-channel that is bridgeable. Pretty cool. Let's check it out. All right, let's look at the box. Let you guys see what we've got going on here. Okay, here on the back, we have some ratings. All right, check it out. Bridgeable 2-channel, 70x2 at 4 ohms, 95x2 at 2 ohms, 190x1 at 4 ohms bridged. Bass boost variable. Okay, so by looking at this, aren't they calling this a 190x2? So I guess that's max. I reckon they want you to feel like this is a 190 watts times 2, so what, 380? But that must be a max number because none of these would give you 380. So anyhow, Pioneer, good brand, name brand, usually good quality. People like their stuff, but I have not unboxed this yet. So let's do this. Let's check it out. What do we get in the box? Just an amp and owner's manual. All right, let's get the foam. It's pretty light, guys. I'll be honest with you, it's pretty light, but with those numbers, we would expect it because that's not a lot of output, to be honest. But the truth is, it could be just right for a lot of people. All right, let's get it out of the plastic. That's the thing about not doing this off camera. It takes me a little longer and I make a little more racket. I think most of y'all are cool with that. Gosh, guys, yeah, it's light. It is light. It looks good. I think that looks pretty sharp. Y'all tell me what you think. All right, here we go. Remote on the end. That's a little bit different. Let me get you in frame. Remote on the end and the ground in the middle, and then the positive. And on the bottom side, you can see there. I like how they did that. 130 amp fuse. Okay, so are we going to see times 10? Are we going to see 300 out of it? And then your right and left, and it shows you which ones to bridge. Right positive, left negative. All right, other end, crossover. You just have a switch for low pass, full, high pass, and then one adjustment depending on which of these two. If you go in the middle on full, then this isn't going to matter. But if you go low pass, it'll play this and down. If you go high pass, it'll go whatever you set this on and up. Bass boost 0, 6, and 12 dB. Gain 6.5 volts to 0.2 volts. Input RCAs and high level inputs right there. 2 by 70. All right, RMS. And then on the bottom, do we have anything good on the bottom? 14.4. No, that's it. All right, guys, I'll check out this manual, let you know if there's anything good in there, and we will get this thing wired up, get on with the testing. All right, we do have some more ratings in the manual, and I don't need to forget, I kept talking about it's a 190x2. They got 500 plastered on this thing and the box. So what they really intend for you to think, I guess, is that it's a 500. So here in the manual, if you guys can see, we do have some max numbers here, and then the continuous numbers there. So they are saying 125x2, 4 ohms, 500 at 4 ohms, so that'll be bridged. 250x2, golly, all right. We know we're not going to see any of those. And then there's those the same, 70x2, 95x2, 190x1. Okay, decent manual. It's fairly thick. There's a lot of info in here, but I think there's different languages, so that's part of why it's so thick. All right, let's get it hooked up. All right, guys, here we go. This first test is going to be 4 ohms, and we're going to do 1K and 40 hertz today because this is a full range amp. I think most people should probably buy this for their door speakers, but let's face it, people are going to buy this for subwoofers as well. 14.8, we're going to capture the current. So this first test here is 1 kilohertz, rated 70x2. Let's see what we get. Oh, nice. 77 and 78. The voltage did not drop, and we pulled 23.3 amps of current. Okay, cool. It beat that rating. That's nice to see. Of course, that was an uncertified run right there, so keep that in mind. All right, let's do 40 hertz. 40 hertz. Here we go. 70x2. A little bit more power. Okay, the voltage did not drop, and that time we pulled 22.3 amps of current. All right, that's pretty good to see it beating its ratings right out of the gate. All right, let's do 2 ohms. All right, here we go. 95x2 at 2 ohms, and this first run is going to be 1 kilohertz. So what are we going to see here at 1K? 95x2 is what we're looking for. Are we going to get it? Nice. Nice. The voltage did not drop. Excuse me, guys. And the current draw was 37.2. Nice. Okay, let's do 40 hertz. Will it do more at 40 hertz? It has been. Let's see if it does on this run as well. 40 hertz, rated 95x2. Nice, 118 and 24. The voltage did not drop, and the current was 38.8. All right, guys, so we are giving this amp some strong voltage, some good power. So we're running it at 14.8. I'm running this with some 4-gauge OFC, very short run, supplied by dual 1/0s. So we are giving this thing a very good chance to make its numbers. So anyhow, got a little surprise for you today. I'm going to reconfigure all of this, and we're going to do the bridged testing. All right, rated 190 by 1. This first run will be the 1 kilohertz, starting off at 14.8 and capturing the current. All right, 1 kilohertz. Are we going to see 190? It's beat all of its other ratings. Will it beat this one? Here we go. Nice. 228, just for the heck of it. Let's do that one more time. 227. It did the same thing. That's funny. The voltage did not drop, and we pulled 38.7 amps of current. All right, looks like my battery's getting low too on the DD1. It's been that way for a couple of weeks. I noticed it last week, or maybe even the week before last. All right, let's do that run except for 40 hertz. 40 hertz, unpause the track. What'd it do, 228 at 1K? 244. The voltage did not drop. We pulled 37.8 amps of current. Guys, tell me what you think. 244, it's beating all of those RMS ratings, but it's certainly not that. What's interesting though is we are really close to double, which is a lot of times how they do max ratings. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. But we didn't do any dynamic testing up to this point, but now that we're bridged, let's do some dynamic testing. All right, here we go. We'll continue with doing the 1K run first. Let's unpause the track. Here we go. Nice. 274. All right, roll it down. All right, 274. All right, let's do 40 hertz. All right, will it beat the 274 that it did at 1K? I think it will. Yep, just a little bit. It's been doing that for all the testing. All right, well, there you go, guys. Y'all let me know what you think. We're not done with it yet, though. We're not done with it just yet. All right, I changed the battery out in the DD1, but I also wired us to 2 ohms bridged. So this amp isn't rated for this, but this is going to be dynamic, and we're going to do 1K. Here we go. Unpause the track. What's going to happen? Oh, let me turn the amp on. I had forgot. Turn the amp on. Here we go. Unpause the track. 1 kilohertz. 2 ohms. Ooh, that light was just staying on. All right, 311. Let's try pushing our luck here, but let's try 40 hertz at 2 ohms dynamic. All right, will it beat 311? This is 40 hertz. 325. Okay. I don't want to let it run for too long. But if anybody was wondering what kind of power it did at 2 ohms, that's what it does dynamic, so probably a little bit less certified and uncertified. So I don't know. I think it's a great little starter amp, something that you can pick up at Walmart. You know, a name brand that everybody recognizes. You know, just think about your money. There's such good options. Oh, price. So this amp, ooh, let me think. I did not get the receipt back out, but this amp was about $90, and then with tax, it was right at $100. So think about that. There are such good options out there nowadays. There's some really good bargains out there. But anyhow, pretty cool little amp that you can pick up at Walmart. Again, I think it's a good starter amp. So, all right, so we're still not done with it. Let's move on to what we're going to do next. All right, guys, it's the gut shot. We got to check it out. Couple 100 watts. What are we expecting the guts to look like for a couple 100 watts? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Guys, there ain't a lot in there. There ain't a lot in there. And there's a lot of extra real estate in this thing too. Jeez. Y'all tell me what you think. The good, the bad. What do you see in here that you like or you don't like? What are these caps? The Chang-X, what does that say? 2200 microfarad, 35 volt. Looks like all 4 of those are the same. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's pretty skimpy. Y'all let me know. I mean, still not a bad little starter amp, but golly, $100 can get you a lot more than 200 watts these days. For real. There's some good bargains out there. But name brand starter amp, pick it up from Walmart. You know, there's a few things to like too, but y'all let me know what you think. All right, let's get the plate put back on and let's fill out the card. All right, guys, let's see the run that I want to write down. I want to write down that 244 bridged. I want to make sure I don't look like an 8. That was at 40 hertz, and that was at 4 ohms mono. And that was uncertified. So there's a lot of different runs you could write down on this one, but that's the one I'm going to choose to go with. Y'all let me know what you think about this amp. Guys, I'm torn about what I want to do next week. I've got some cool stuff here to roll out. I've got a number of amps here that you guys haven't seen yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for the support. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Yeah, so I got an incredible audience. Thank you to all of you guys who keep coming back for more. And speaking of that, we'll see you next time.